So here's my 9" that I put together for this. So I made a video, but my audio was crappy. It was really choppy. So I'm just going to run through here and explain what I did and how I did it. So first I had the rear end sitting straight up, and I put the studs in first, and all I did is you press the stud in, use 9/16 and an impact, suck it down. Now, when I did that, I went ahead and went and bought a grade 8 nut, because if you look at all these nuts, they actually have nylon washers in there. So if you're using that nut, it'd tear up the washer or the nylon lock. So anyway, I just went and got a basic grade 8 bolt nut. So from there, I dropped the center section in. I used some RTB, the black silicone, because it's oil resistant as a gasket maker, and tighten that down. I think it's 35 foot-pounds of torque is what you need to have those set at. And I just went every other nut all the way around, kind of tightened it down evenly, just kept making passes until I decided to get down to torque spec. After that, you take the axles, you slide those in, and I'll also post a video of me actually sliding the axles in and stuff. Just again, the audio is really bad, so I'm just kind of making this short and sweet and simple. So you slide the axle in. Now I used some assembly lube on the actual axle itself, on the spines, so that way when you're sliding it in, it's assembly lube. You want to put some lube in there. So you slide that in, and then afterwards there's a seal on both axles, and I just put the seal on the axle and then slid it all in as one. I'd seen other people put the seal in and then slide the axle in. I didn't see the point in all that, so I just left it on the axle how they shipped it. And you make sure, because I know one axle had both the seals on them, so I just took one seal off and put it on the other axle, oriented the same way. So from there, you put these T-bolts in, and you just slide those in, and there's a little bracket right here you can bolt on. And I used a 3/4 inch wrench, and just the same as this, you want to bolt it down evenly. And again, I have a video of me doing it, but we bolt these down, and then after that, we go to the brake bracket, which you can kind of see the orientation. So looking at this bracket here, it's going to point up and towards the back of the rear end. Same with this one, so it's going to point up towards the back of the rear end. And they have a groove right here, so when it sits on the axle, you'll see a cup side. So you cup it, make sure it's pointing that way. So there is a left and right. Anyways, from there, these are the same for both sides, so not a big deal if you flip-flop these around or anything. But I use the 2 top bolts and then the 2 back bolts. And the way I did this was I took the bolt, put it through, put the washer on, or the spacer on. I did that to all of them. And then I slid that on, kind of held it all with 2 hands, and threaded one nut, another nut, get them all threaded. And I used my impact here to tighten it down. I had a 90, so I can actually get in here. Because if you look, shock tower is in the way, and you try to go this way, then the axle's in the way, so can't really get to it going from the other direction. So really, that's kind of it in a nutshell. After that, you bolt on the caliper and go this way with the slides. I used these were all 9/16, and again, I used the impact for this, used my little impact. I was going to use my big one, I got it out, but it wasn't needed. I just needed a fresh battery for this one, and it was good to go. So really, it was plenty. It was able to suck all the studs down. And then, so anyways, that was a 9/16. These are 9/16. These were 3/4, and this is a 3/8 Allen. Now, all I had was a damn Allen wrench. It'd probably be better if you had a socket. Here's the Allen wrench, by the way. But it was a 3/8. You can see that. It's upside down. But anyways, that's it in a nutshell. And I'll post another video with this video plus my phone had something stuck in the mic port, so you can only hear every other thing I said.